Hello friends, I am Arpit and I am here with today's analysis. Today is 28th of November and I am going to deal with one very important topic which is a requested topic. And that topic is Project Cheetah. Actually, in today's session we are going to have three topics, but the next two topics are related to cheetahs only. So we can say that today's session is all about cheetahs. So the first topic is Project Cheetah. It is basically the plan for reintroducing cheetahs into India. We have a target that we make India a sustainable habitat for 35 cheetahs in the next decade. We've started reintroducing cheetahs. We've got 12 cheetahs from Namibia, 8 cheetahs from South Africa, a total 20. A female cheetah has given birth to 4 cubs also. But unfortunately, 3 of these cubs and 6 of those cheetahs have died. So out of 20, 9 cheetahs have died. That is a big concern. And with this, we have this cheetah reintroduction plan in India. We will study here. We will also look into the historical aspect when cheetahs were present, because I'm using the word reintroduction. They were here, they went extinct, and they were extinct somewhere in 1948, 1950, and after that, now we have reintroduced them. But even now they are dying. Then somewhere around June, July, this issue came up. The Kuno cheetahs and radio collars on their, necks. It was found that one of the dead cheetahs, there was this septicemia or septic on that cheetah's neck, and which could be the probable cause of that cheetah's death. And that was related to the radio collars. So we will look into this aspect as well, that what is this radio collars and all, what is the function of radio collars, why does this happen. So we can say that today's lecture is all about cheetahs. Let's get started with the first, that is Project Cheetah. Actually, India's ambitious cheetah reintroduction plan finished 1 year into existence in September 2023. Last September, we reintroduced the cheetahs under this program called as Project Cheetah. Project Cheetah aims to reintroduce cheetahs into India, where 12 cheetahs were brought from Namibia in September 2022. Now in January 2023, 8 more were brought from South Africa. And we have this target that we want to make India a sustainable habitat for 35 cheetahs by the end of this decade. And this is something which the Project Cheetah aims to establish. There are many, I would say, socio-economic implications or significances of cheetahs reintroduction. Like tourism can increase. If I talk about ecological significance also, there is ecological significance of reintroducing cheetahs, because cheetah is at the one of the highest levels at this food cycle. So it will consume prey, and it will help maintain the level of grassland in that ecosystem. Social significance, cheetah symbolizes strength, speed, and we have had a history with cheetahs. So all these are, I would say, significances, importance of reintroducing cheetahs into India. We've started doing it, but unfortunately, the cheetahs are struggling in India right now. Out of 20 reintroduced cheetahs, 9 have died, which includes 6 adult and 3 cubs. So there are challenges also. So let us look into the details of this Project Cheetah. Now, India's ambitious cheetah reintroduction program, Project Cheetah, completed 1 year on 17 September 2023. What is this Project Cheetah? Is India's ambitious cheetah relocation program aimed at establishing a self-sustaining population of about 35 cheetahs in the country over the next decade. However, the project has faced several criticisms with death of 9 cheetahs, 6 adults and 3 cubs out of 20 translocated cheetahs from Namibia and South Africa. Now, Namibia is known as the cheetah capital of the world because it has the largest population of cheetahs. Now, the current status. First batch of 8 cheetahs from Namibia arrived on September 17 at Kuno Palpur National Park. This Kuno Palpur National Park is in MP. Now, in the next topic, we will see that why this national park only was chosen. The second batch, 12 cheetahs from South Africa, arrived February 18, 2023 at Kuno Palpur National Park. I might have, previously swiped this. 8 cheetahs from Namibia, 12 cheetahs from South Africa were brought in. 6 cheetahs have died. Out of these, 14 cheetahs are remaining. All the surviving 14 adult cheetahs and 1 cub are in captivity. In late March 2023, one of the females gave birth to a litter of 4 cubs which were conceived in India. This is something which is a good news. But again, this good news has been followed by a bad news, that is 3 of the 4 cubs have died and 1 cub is being handed as the mother has rejected it. So, this is there that only 1 cub out of those 4 cubs have survived. This is what Project Cheetah current status is. The significance of cheetahs, biodiversity restoration. I would say, this helps in maintaining ecological balance, or natural balance of the ecosystem by reintroduction of a top predator in the food chain. Now, cheetah is at the top. Cheetah will consume various herbivorous animals. These herbivorous animals were consuming grass. Now, this cheetah will consume those herbivorous animals, means there will be less herbivorous animals to consume grass, means grasslands will be maintained. This is how a balance is restored. Conservation efforts of other species. Now, if this reintroduction plan becomes a success, we can think of reintroducing other species also into India. So, it can act like a benchmark. Ecological research opportunities. Reintroduction of cheetah provides unique opportunity for scientists to study cheetah behavior and ecology in a new environment. So, this is again going to be enhancing the research and development in the country. Then, economic significance, if I talk about, it will increase, I would say, tourism in the Kuno National Park, because more and more people will come to see this, rare animal presently in the country. This has led to job creation also. Like, there are cheetah mitras, and these cheetah mitras, what they do, they have to sensitize the people in the vicinity of Kuno National Park about the cheetahs, and they also have to act like eyes and ears of the government so that no poachers are involved in killing these cheetahs. These people have been named as cheetah mitras. Social significance. Social awareness about conservation, debates on success of Project Cheetah has raised public awareness about wildlife conservation. Socio-cultural significance. The reintroduction of cheetah have also helped in reviving their cultural importance in India, as cheetahs have historically been symbols of strength and agility in the Indian mythology and folklore. So they have some cultural significance also attached with them. Why are cheetahs dying? The probable reasons we have. However, no exact reason we can have right now. First is prolonged confinement of the cheetahs. Prolonged confinement means, when these cheetahs were brought in India, they were put in quarantine. Means they were kept in captivity for 60 days. And this was more than the time which is mandated in the Livestock Importation Act. What is the time, mandated as per the Livestock Importation Act? That is 30 days. An animal should be kept under captivity when that animal is imported from other countries, so that animal gets accustomed to the climatic conditions over here in India, and then it is left in the open, in the wild. But these cheetahs, they were kept for 60 days. And obviously, cheetahs are not the ones who are meant to be in captivity. They're meant to set free. They're meant to roam free, run, jump here and there. Then, improper scientific assessments of pathogens. Pathogens are those microbes which cause death or which cause diseases which are present in India. And these pathogens might be impacting these cheetahs. So it is claimed that we have not done the proper study of these pathogens. Then improper verification of cheetahs selected for translocation. Some people or some experts say that those cheetahs have been translocated into India which had comparatively weaker immunity. That is why cheetahs are dying. Government did not do the government did not do proper verification of those cheetahs which had been selected. So these could be the probable reasons why cheetahs are dying. Now, the cheetah's reintroduction in India, last year, Prime Minister, himself was there at the Kuno National Park, where 8 cheetahs were reintroduced or brought in from Namibia, that is the cheetah capital of the world. Now, the species which has been brought in from Namibia was actually not that species which was there present in India and it went extinct. This is basically the African cheetah. Namibia is in Africa. And here in India, we had the Asiatic cheetah. However, the Asiatic cheetah has some genetic connections with the African cheetah. That is why it was considered that African cheetahs are compatible over here in India. Have Asiatic cheetahs went extinct from the entire world? No, some of the Asiatic cheetahs are present in Iran. The same breed which was here in India, which went extinct. But we could not bring it from Iran. Why we could not bring it from Iran? Because in Iran they have been labeled as critically endangered, means their population is very less. Now, from that very less population, if we would have brought some of the cheetahs over here, then there might be a possibility that those cheetahs who were brought here, they would die. Those cheetahs who were remaining there, they would also die. So then it would be totally extinct. So that was not a, I would say, very good idea. That is why we chose cheetahs to be brought in from Africa. However, genetic lineage, there is connection between Asiatic cheetahs and the African cheetahs which have brought in into India. So this also needs to be understood. Why Kuno National Park was chosen? Because Kuno National Park has this capacity, to host around 21 cheetahs. It has that adequate prey base. It has, all the big four cats, that is lions, now leopards, cheetahs, and tigers. So these were the climatic conditions in Kuno National Park were kind of similar to Namibia and South Africa. Not exactly, but yes, kind of. That is why Kuno National Park was chosen. So now let us look into the details of this cheetah's reintroduction in India. The Prime Minister of India released 8 cheetahs, 3 male and 5 female, into the enclosure at Madhya Pradesh Kuno National Park to initiate the species reintroduction in India. This was September 2022. About the cheetahs, world's fastest land animal historically, ranging throughout the most of sub-Saharan Africa, extending eastwards to India. Cheetahs play an important part in the ecosystem. They maintain the prey species healthy by killing the weak and old and control the population of prey, helping the plants' life by preventing overgrazing. Now, today, cheetahs are found only in 9% of their historic range, occurring in a variety of habitats such as savannas, the arid mountain ranges in Sahara, and hilly desert terrain in Iran. Here in Iran, Asiatic cheetahs are there. In savannas, in arid mountain ranges in the Sahara, African cheetahs are there. Namibia has the largest population of cheetahs in the world, earning it the title the cheetah capital of the world. Currently, cheetahs, African, are listed as vulnerable on the International Union for Conservation of Nature list, red list, as there are fewer than 7,100 adult and adolescent cheetahs in the wild. So, African cheetahs are listed as vulnerable, which is, comparatively a very, very, very good position as compared to critically endangered, which the Asiatic cheetahs are in Iran. Now, history of cheetahs in India. When you talk about history of cheetahs in India, where were cheetahs present in India? It was not, cheetahs were not concentrated in small pockets. They were there present, almost in the entire country. During I would say the historical times. Like they were there in Punjab, in Tamil Nadu, from Gujarat, Rajasthan, Bengal, everywhere they were found. Cheetah's habitat was very diverse: scrub forest, dry grassland, savannas, and other arid, semi-arid open habitats. This was living. In 1952, the cheetah was declared officially extinct in the country. So 1952, it was declared officially extinct, but yes, there was one princely state known as Korea, Koriya. The Maharaja of Korea actually sent a photograph to the Indian officials, and in that photograph, he was holding the two cheetahs, and one cheetah was lying. And those were known to be the last three cheetahs in India, where those cheetahs were poached by the Maharaja of Korea, because people at that time, they had that a peculiar, I would say, hobby of hunting, and they used to glorify that. Yes, I have hunted down a cheetah. That was a matter of pride. That was a matter of social status for them. But by hunting those three cheetahs went extinct into India. The Maharaja probably was not aware about this aspect. So this was a question asked in KBC also. One Banega Crorepati. Now the cheetah reintroduction plan, the discussions to bring cheetah back to India was initiated in 2009 by the Wildlife Trust of India. But from 2009, negotiations have been happening with Namibia, and now 2022, the cheetahs were reintroduced finally. Recommended sites: Kuno Palpur National Park or Kuna National Park in Madhya Pradesh. Among the surveyed sites of the central Indian states, it has been rated as the highest because of its suitable habitat and adequate prairies. It is capable of supporting 21 cheetahs and is likely the only wildlife site in the country where villages have been completely relocated from within the park. Kuno also provides the possibility of harboring 4 of India's big cats: tiger, lion, leopard, and cheetahs, enabling them to coexist as they have in the past. That is why Kuno National Park was chosen. Why cheetahs are being brought from Africa? Actually, cheetahs had to be brought from Iran because that Asiatic cheetahs are the species which were existing in India, which went extinct in India. But these Asiatic cheetahs are critically endangered in Iran. Critically endangered means they are very less in population. So if we divide them, then there is a possibility that in both of these countries they go extinct. So it will be like this. Southern African cheetahs have the highest observed genetic variety among the extant cheetah lineage, which is critical for a found population stock. Furthermore, Southern African cheetahs have been determined to be the ancestors of all other cheetahs. So we brought in the ancestors. The African cheetahs are considered to be ancestors of Asiatic cheetahs as well. So we brought in the ancestors in India. So that was about reintroduction. Then in June, July this year, there was news about the radio collars on these cheetahs. The radio collars, basically you could see a device on their necks if you closely watch. That is a strap and a radio collar. That radio collar is a monitoring device. We use this monitoring devices on wildlife these days, just to monitor their movements. And the forest departments do this. Now, is it easy to put these radio collars on their bodies? No, it is not easy. We have to first sedate them, and once they are sedated, then we go and we strap or we tighten this collar on them. And these are battery operated radio collars, and we hope that this radio collar goes on for a longer period of time. The battery life of this radio collar is elongated. This is what our objective is, because it is not possible to sedate frequently these animals, wild animals. It impacts their health, it also puts the life of those people in danger who are going for sedating them. So the size of the battery is optimum, and if the size of the battery increases, the weight of this radio collar also increases. Now what happened? Rainfall happens in India, and due to that rainfall, these radio collars and all, they are, I would say, also impacted, because the cheetahs which were reintroduced in India, they actually developed a fur on their skin due to that elongated rainfalls in the country. And these elongated rainfalls are not there in you know Namibia or South Africa. That is one major difference. And due to that fur, when that radio collar was here on the neck, and when the cheetahs were running, cheetah is the fastest animal, that radio collar used to go up and down on their neck. That created a lot of, I would say, wounds over here, and that wounds were not treated, and hence it turned into a septic. One of the cheetahs which died among the 9 cheetahs, this was found on that cheetah's neck, and this was found on other cheetahs' necks also, which were alive, but it was irritating them. So we've came to, or we have not come to a conclusion right now, that whether that radio collar which caused septic was the cause of that cheetah's death. So that is something which has to be looked into. Now when this radio collar is there, and when that radio collar is wet, and when the cheetah is running, and cheetah runs very fast, the effective weight of that radio collar increases multiple times. Now this effective weight of radio collar, which increases multiple times, actually hampers the speed of the cheetahs as well. And when that increased weight is rubbing up and down while running, so definitely that can cause bruises on the skin. So let us look into the details of this. Injuries have been noted in at least another 3 animals after 2 cheetahs in Kuno died of suspected septicemia from the neck wounds caused by radio collars. Radio collars are these, if you can closely look on the neck of the cheetahs. Many people who are accustomed to regularly collaring wildcats for monitoring and research both in India and Africa are puzzled by this setback for the reintroduction project. Now they are puzzled, but they found out some of the reasons. Collaring of animals. First we should understand that what collaring of animals is and what is its significance. Now since the 1970s, satellite telemetry has made it possible to monitor individual birds and animals over the continental distances. These tracking devices have become lighter and more sophisticated over time. There are VHF radio telemetry for even insects today. So at that level also we are introducing these kind of telemetry. Globally, thumb rule is to keep the weight of radio collar to less than 3% of the animal's body weight. So let's suppose that if the animal's body weight is 10 kgs, and the thumb rule will be that the weight of radio collar should be less than 300 grams. That is less than 3% of animal's body weight. The size of the battery is important. A lighter one would need replacement sooner, which cannot be done without sedating the animal. So that size of the battery should be optimum. Obviously, battery will contribute to the weight. We have to keep this in mind, that we have to keep the weight less than 3%, and we also have to keep in mind that replacements of those batteries are not needed frequently, because we will have to sedate those animals if we have to replace those radio collars. Most modern collars for wildcats weigh around 400 grams, which is light enough for cheetahs that typically weigh between 20 kg and 60 kg. So 3% of 20 kg will be somewhere around 600 grams permissible. 3% of 60 kg, 1.8 kg permissible. Okay. So it is less than 3%. Cheetahs are hard to fit collars on, as their heads are not much bigger than their necks, especially the younger animals. The necks and the heads, they are of the same, I would say, breadth. So it becomes difficult for them to have the radio collars on their necks. Reasons for neck injuries. these cheetahs have been wearing these collars for several months in India during the dry periods. And then during the dry periods, they didn't have any issues until the monsoon arrived. Now, when the monsoon arrived, we had continuous rains. And the bacterial infections under the collars are not reported in African conditions where the skin gets a chance to dry completely between spells of rain. Also, rainfall is a lot less in Africa than in India. This is one major climatic difference which could be causing this problem. So, monsoon or wet weather can be the reason for neck injuries in the cheetahs. Now, why are Kuno cheetahs more vulnerable? We call it the wet mat effect. Could weaken the skin over time. Now, cheetahs grow a winter coat. It is more furrier compared to the coats of tigers or leopards and could hold more water and take longer to dry. Now, due to these increased, or I would say continuous rainfalls, fur like was developed on the skins of the cheetahs. And when this fur is there and then rainfall happens, then this fur will be retaining water for longer periods. That will be causing this bacterial infection when that rubs against that fur, that particular radio collar rubs against that fur. 3% collar weight rule not factoring in animal athleticism. Actually, when the cheetahs are running, they're the fastest animal. At that time, due to various frictional forces and other forces, the effective weight of that radio collar surpasses the 3% limit. It weighs more during the time of running. During movement, the forces exerted by collar were generally equivalent to up to 5 times the collar's weight for a lion and massive 18 times for the cheetah, because this weight will be directly proportional to the speed of that animal. This would make a 400-gram collar weigh to more than 7 kg on a sprinting cheetah. And this is obviously surpassing the 3% mark. They are also known to be less immune to local pathogens. These animals could be vulnerable to certain local pathogens to which Indian tigers and leopards may be immune. But the cheetahs may not be immune, and this could also make them more and more vulnerable. So, this could be one of the probable reasons. So in this session, we've seen Project Cheetah, Cheetah reintroduction, why cheetahs were not brought from Iran, why cheetahs were brought from Namibia and South Africa only, what is the target, and this radio collaring of cheetahs and all. We've seen that. So this can give you a complete picture about Project Cheetah. I hope I am able to fulfill your request which was done to me. Now, I will be meeting you tomorrow with more such informative news pieces. The COP 28 of UAE, this UNFCCC is coming in UAE, and our future lectures may be based on those, I would say, COP that has happened and that is going to happen, what we can expect from the upcoming COP. So, till then, you guys very well know what to do. Keep studying, keep reading, keep writing, and most importantly, keep revising. Namaste, Jai Hind.